Hello lovely people and welcome to my channel. Now in today's video I am going to be doing some Infinite Warfare initial opinions on the multiplayer. I'm sure you all know by now but the multiplayer trailer and sort of breakdown video got released at COD XP, and I'm going to split things down based off gameplay that I've seen from other YouTubers, into things first that I like and then what I don't like or I found a bit more interesting. So let's get started with the movement. Now the movement in the game looks really good. It is the same as Black Ops 3, and from gameplay that I've seen of full games of other people playing it, it seems to just be a lot more controlled and the chain-based system seems to work a bit better. Momentum seems to be a bit more key, even though that was the point of the Black Ops 3 movement system. It seems to have just been refined a little bit in Infinite Warfare. It's been said that the boost isn't quite as high, and you don't wall run for quite as long. So in a kind of way, it's more like boots on the ground style than Black Ops 3 was, as it won't be as vertical, we won't be relying on wall runs quite as much. It's just to take advantage of different routes and flanking lines. Overall, the movement, both in the running around and all the jumping, aiming down sights animations and reloading and everything like that, all look really smooth, so I have no complaints there. The colours on some of the maps and the weapons and the characters themselves look really good. The one gameplay that I've seen of Terminal, the map was quite grey, but some of the other maps, especially outside, looked really awesome. I saw one in the trailer that was near Mars and everything had this awesome like red glow over it. That's just really cool, so I think the colours and the way the game looks visually is going to be really good. And the weapons look really cool as well. Even though there are some energy weapons in some cases, they were firing in pulses. I know quite a lot of people didn't like the energy weapons in Advanced Warfare, but I think they're going to work differently in this game and they just look really cool, all designed from scratch I imagine. I also noticed that there's quite a lot of hybrid weapons in this game that we've seen so far. We have the Ripper Mark II, or whatever it's called, that's an assault rifle, and an SMG that you press a toggle button and it switches between the two. I've also seen from the breakdown video there was an akimbo weapon at one point that had the ability to be toggled, I assume, into an SMG as well. And there's also the semi-automatic sniper rifle that we've seen that can be converted into an assault rifle. So there's quite a lot of different sections and sort of crossovers in this. It will be interesting to see how they're balanced and if in different modes they deal different damages at different ranges, things like that to keep them a bit more balanced within the game. But overall, it's something I'm really excited about as it changes the way the gameplay works and the sort of classes that you can have. And they're also going to be adding a classic weapon section, which will see the return of some of our favourite weapons from past CODs. Let's hope for the Intervention, the UMP-45, just weapons we've always really liked to use in older Call of Duties. Have them back in this one will be really good. Let's just hope that these weapons aren't only obtainable through supply drops. Supply drops will definitely be in this game. It makes far too much money for the companies to leave them out. From a business point of view, it just makes so much sense to have them in the game. They're not necessarily a bad thing to put in, it's just the way that it ended up going in Black Ops 3 hasn't been great. So let's hope they kind of learn a little bit and try and do something different with supply drops. Maybe implementing a trading system just so we can get the weapons if they do put them in there that we can't get through opening hundreds of supply drops. Something that just makes it a little bit more fun for us. Expanding on this, Infinite Warfare will have weapon variants, which they have called prototypes. The guy in the clip from the breakdown video that they released says that by collecting and redeeming salvage, the game's crafting currency, players will be able to unlock a specific prototype weapon to complement their loadout. He then goes on to say salvage can be earned by playing the game. So if this is as simple as earning crypto keys, where you literally can save them up only by playing the game, I quite like this idea. As long as the weapon variants are balanced and each one has positives and negatives. For example, if a gun has higher damage over range, it has slightly more recoil, then it sounds pretty cool. And if the only way for you to be able to unlock these is by earning this salvage, it means you have to play the game enough to earn the currency to unlock the slightly better weapons or the ones that have a little bit more of an advantage in certain situations, as long as you can't buy the salvage in any way, it gives players that put a lot more time into the game a reward for doing so, rather than those that have the most money. It would also be possible for them to reintroduce something like Black Ops 3 contract system, where you complete certain challenges to earn more salvage just to give you that little bonus towards getting another prototype weapon. However, the fact that things like the nuke will also only be on certain prototype weapons sucks so hard. It means that you're really restricted in what you can use to earn these nukes, meaning that there's only a couple of weapons or one variation of each weapon that allows you to do so. So unless you have one of them and you saved up enough salvage to buy it, you have no chance of earning one of these. I know it's a 25 kill streak, that's quite a long way to go, but it sucks that you can't get it with any weapon in the game. Even if it were something like the Moab from Modern Warfare 3, where it didn't end the game, it would be nice to be able to get it with any weapon at all. In terms of maps, the fact that they are being described as small to medium only is absolutely brilliant. None of those large maps like Stonehaven in Ghosts, that was just a terrible map. Man, that was a really, really bad map now I come to think of it. But the fact they're all small to medium, 3-lane design, as they pointed out, hopefully it should be fast paced and not boring on just stupid maps like that. Also, having a beta that they've announced is really good, but if you can only access it by pre ordering, it kinda sucks. Won't stop people pre ordering the game though, just for the beta and then cancelling afterwards if they don't like it. Specialists are back. Now, this is an interesting one, as some people like them and other people don't. I do quite like how specialists have worked in Black Ops 3 and what they've added to the game, except for maybe kinetic armor. I just get a little bit annoyed at that sometimes. But Infinite Warfare has combat rigs, as they are now called, and they have payloads, which are essentially your specialist weapon or ability, and then the trait, which acts like a perk that you use for the rest of the game. This is fine, and I like it quite a lot. However, quite a lot of these payloads and traits aren't anything new, and we have seen things before. I will leave a link below to a site that lists all the payloads and traits that are available and describes what their in-game thing says that they will do. But these are the ones that are coming back. They're under different names in some cases, but others aren't. So we have essentially the Scythe, Combat Focus, Overdrive, Ping, which was a perk from Ghosts, Scavenger, Kinetic Armor, something similar to the Tempest, the Ground Slam from Advanced Warfare where you'd boost the floor, the Annihilator, Vision Pulse, Active Camo, the Ripper, Glitch, Overclock, and sort of the boost jumping midair that we had from Advanced Warfare. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. These are all things that people liked and were actually quite a lot of fun to use. It just would have been nice to see everything being new in the game, but it's not the end of the world to see them coming back. The ones they have kept are some of the most used and most fun. Also, a lot of attachments that we've seen so far in this overview are the same and have very, very similar images to previous CODs. Some renamed here are the Particle Amp, which is essentially a long barrel, Fusion Mag, which is kind of like Fast Mag, and the Faraday Slug, which is high caliber. There are a few new ones there, and I really hope that there are more to come with the full release of the game. Also, we only see a few new perks so far. So for perk 1, we have Recon, which is similar to a perk we had in Black Ops 3 Beta, which made the minimap larger. But this one also allows you to use enemy UAVs for yourself. I can see this either being removed entirely from the game, just because it would be a staple of everyone's class and every single person would use it. In the beta for Black Ops 3, the perk that made your minimap bigger was used by everyone, and then in the full release of the game, they got rid of it and just included it for everyone anyway. So I can see them doing something like this instead. For perk 2, we have a new one called Momentum, which allows you to sprint faster over time. That's pretty cool and would be interesting to see how it works. Hardline has also been changed to only give you double points for assists, which is entirely useless. And Tracker allows you to see footsteps of enemies like before, but also for you to be able to hear enemies using dead silence, which is kind of interesting and kind of gets rid of a whole perk, which seems a bit weird. And finally, for perks 3, we have Pinpoint, which outlines enemies when you're dealing or taking damage from projectile weapons. Projectile, I assume, means bullets rather than energy weapons, so it could be useful depending on how many weapons there are in the game that fire actual bullets. And Marksman, which reduces flinch on sniper rifles. Apart from that, the rest of the perks are things that we've just seen before in other games. Once again, though, that's not necessarily a bad thing. These are good perks, and these pretty much have been in every single COD. It's things that you want, like reload faster, swap weapons faster, run faster, climbing over things quicker. Just that sort of simple things, so not a bad thing, but the new ones are quite interesting. It has been said, and does kind of look like, that you die quicker than in Black Ops 3. Not as fast as Ghosts, but certainly not as slow as Black Ops 3. It's this sort of thing that will be tuned for final release of the game. Once people actually play it a little bit and they get some actual data, people playing it and give their honest opinions, it will be altered a little bit, hopefully. Make it a bit better and not quite as quick. Something that seems a bit weird is that there is 10, that's right, 10 lethal grenades. That's a lot of explosions. There are grenades that explode, grenades that stick to things that explode, drones that explode, tracking spiders that explode, cluster grenades that explode a lot, black holes that suck you in, grenades that burn you, grenades that make you stick to the floor, throwing knife grenades. That's just a lot of explosions. Also, the score streaks are pretty standard. I'm not really going to go through them. There's a picture on your screen just now. I'll just put up some little words above every single one of them that you can see what they're similar to from previous CODs. There are some newer ones towards the bottom though, slightly different, and hopefully quite powerful from what I've heard. Now there's something that does concern me a little bit. Whilst I haven't had the chance to play the game, other YouTubers like Prestigious Key, who I trust to give an honest opinion of the game, has already said that it might not be the best COD, but that it is a good game. The fact that people like him are not 100% excited is a little bit worrying, but I do have hope. Advanced Warfare wasn't necessarily the best COD in the world, but I did quite like it as a shooter game. Let's just hope that this is not based off of anything. I doubt they had too much time to play it, really. So hopefully things will be tweaked a little bit, and by the time the full release of the game comes out, everyone will be super excited by it, and people will love it just as much as I am hoping they will. Whilst I've said quite a lot of negative things in this video, I don't necessarily mean these things are bad things. Yes, it's nice to have new games with new things in them, but features that have kept have worked quite well before, in my opinion. I'm not upset to see these things that have been kept in the game at all. I was just hoping for more new stuff, I guess. I don't think this game is a whole nother step away from other CODs, but I don't think it's a step back either. I see it more as a step to the side from Black Ops 3. It's kind of a little bit of an improvement with a couple of things added to it. This, though, doesn't mean that new stuff isn't coming as well. It just means we haven't seen it yet. So I hope you guys have liked this video. I know it's been a little bit longer than maybe some of you expected. If you have, feel free to drop a like below. Leave your thoughts in the comment section on Infinite Warfare. I know Modern Warfare Remastered is coming along with it. I don't really need to post my opinions about this. Everyone is excited and it just looks so awesome. Subscribe for more content and I will see you guys later.